Good afternoon, everybody. What a fabulous crowd we have here to honor our veterans. We are about to start right now. Thank you for your patience. I will also say we've done the very best we can, but when we read your names, if there's a little mess up in the pronunciation, I am apologizing up front for any mispronunciations, but we're going to do our best. And thank you to all our veterans, family, and friends. Let's begin the program.
If everybody would stand and take your hats off for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets were clear. The bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great job, guys.
And let us pray. Loving and gracious God and Father of us all, today we bow our heads this day to call down your blessing upon all of us. Today we remember the valiant bravery and dedication of all our veterans, those countless men and women who have served and are presently serving in the protection of freedom, one of your greatest of gifts and inalienable rights. As Benjamin Franklin said 200 years ago, freedom is not a gift bestowed on us by other men, but rather is a right that belongs to us by the law of nature and of God himself. It is upon this principle of freedom and the dignity of each human being that we raise the American flag of bravery, self-sacrifice, and hope for future generations. Whether it be raised from the Argonne Forest, Guadalcanal, the beaches of Normandy, Korea, the Mekong Delta, the mountains of Afghanistan, or the banks of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, we salute those who have not only fought for this God-given gift, but especially for those who have given their lives for this and the security of future generations. So today, loving God, as we raise the flag of freedom and hope, and its shadow falls on many lands and people, may your gift of peace begin to grow under this shadow. May it take root and give our world new promise and a hope of a better tomorrow. A tomorrow where your will is done and the lamp of liberty is never extinguished. And we ask this in your name. Amen.
May be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here today as we come together to recognize the brave men and women who answered the call of duty and courageously served our country in its time of need. It is my honor to welcome the veterans here today, as well as their families and friends. At this time, I ask that we all pause for a moment of silence for U.S. Navy sonar technician Tuan Quinn from Oakville, Connecticut, who was tragically killed last week in a collision between a destroyer and a container ship off Japan. Thank you. Today's ceremony would not be possible without the help of a number of people. I'd like to recognize each one of them now. As I call your name, please stand and be recognized. Commissioner of Department of Veterans Affairs, Sean Connolly. Also from the Department of Veterans Affairs, Chuck Fredericks. The members of the 103rd Airlift Wing Honor Guard. Members of the East Granby Veterans Group and its leader, Tom Moran, who led the Pledge of Allegiance for us. It was originally the East Granby Veterans Group who brought the idea of doing a medal ceremony back last year. They would like to invite anybody from any town to come and join them for their meetings. Even though they're East Granby veterans, they are welcoming everybody. Some of the members are from outside the area. They meet at Gio's Restaurant in East Granby here, and it's the last, not the fourth, but the last Tuesday of the month, and they do welcome you. 7 o'clock, Tom? 7 o'clock. Also, we have the East Granby Veterans Liaison and Assessor, Mary Ellen Brown. The Windsor Locks Veterans Liaison and Assessor, Elizabeth Liz Duffy. Suffield Veterans Liaison and Assessor, Helen Tots. Suffield VFW Commander, Jim Seamus McGovern. The founder and organizer of Resilience Grows Here, Justine Ginsburg. And East Granby's facilities manager, Dave Wing, who helps a lot with making sure everything's coordinated and set up properly. Dave? Additionally, thank you to the Connecticut Patriot Guard, to Reverend Robert A. O'Grady, and our singers. We only have 2 of them listed in the program, but we had 3. It's Chloe Gosselin, Laura Brassard, and Justin LaCharette. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to all of you that I named for all your help in putting this together. The Connecticut Veterans Wartime Services Medal was established in 2005 by the state legislature to honor all Connecticut veterans with qualified wartime experience. Before this, the state had not issued a medal since World War I. In order to receive this medal, a veteran must qualify according to 3 conditions. Veterans must have served during a qualified wartime for more than 90 days, or less than that if the engagement was less than that. He or she must have received an honorable discharge, and lastly, must currently reside in the state of Connecticut. It is my honor to recognize each of our distinguished veterans here today who have met these conditions. Thank you all for defending our freedom, for your devotion, and for your service to our great country.
Wow, what a spectacular showing this afternoon of family, friends, and honored veterans. My step-grandfather, Pasquale Viscero, was wounded in Pearl Harbor and spent many months in the hospital before fighting in the Pacific Theater. My dad, who just turned 84 last Thursday, served in Korea. Doesn't talk about it a lot. Wasn't a good place to be. And my uncle served in Vietnam. He's still alive, living in Florida. And he definitely saw some action in the Navy down in Vietnam. Our family respects veterans and understands that it's not only just the veteran that we honor, but the families of the veterans that have to say goodbye and say prayers each and every day that their son or daughter or husband or wife will come back safe and sound. But the price of freedom is high, and people have to put their lives on the line. We remember those that did not come back. We pray for those that were wounded and still maybe debilitated, and we do continually honor those men and women that live and work and raise a family amongst us. I have been tremendously honored for the last 25 years to be your state senator, and will continue to do whatever I can in my office to help each and every one of you as you continue to place your faith and trust in the great state of Connecticut. It's now my tremendous honor to introduce our special guest speaker for the program this afternoon. And I have known Commissioner Connolly since he was first made commissioner March 16th in 2015. We used to have a committee called Program Review and Investigations, and we had some efforts regarding the facilities in Rocky Hill. And let me tell you, we've had excellent commissioners of the Department of Veterans Affairs before, but Sean Connolly is just one of the best commissioners I've ever seen in my 25 years. Not only is he a commissioner, he's an attorney, worked once with Pratt & Whitney, also worked at a law firm down in Washington, D.C. He's a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army Reserve, and he spent over 7 years of active duty service. He's the recipient of a Bronze Star Medal, Meritorious Service Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal, and a Global War on Terrorism Service Medal. He's married to his lovely wife, Carol, who's also an attorney. They have 2 young sons, Sean, who's 10, and Brendan, that's 7, and a little rescue puppy called Lucky. Without further ado, Commissioner Connolly.
There we go. There we go. Thank you. What a great trio singing our national anthem again, huh? How about that? And thanks, of course, to my teammate up there. You heard Chuck Fredericks is here with me. The Patriot Guard riders back there. Always, wherever we go, they're there for our veterans' families. Again, thank you to the delegation here for inviting me. What a spectacular day. What a spectacular crowd to be with. And of course, as always, the most distinguished guests of honor, the great veterans from the state of Connecticut. Well, it has been a great honor for me over the last 2 years to be your commissioner of Connecticut's Department of Veterans Affairs. And one of the greatest parts of my job is to get out and about around the communities in Connecticut to see the wonderful veterans, about 200,000 strong here in Connecticut, from all eras, from all services, and so really this is a special day for me. As you all know, and as you already heard, America's military has been the guardian of our freedom since the birth of the Republic. And it's a special time, especially this week, to honor our veterans here, because you think about it. Just last week we marked Flag Day. We marked June 14th, the birthday of our flag, going back to 1775 first, when our colony citizen soldiers gathered as America's first army to converge on Boston, to defend freedom, to uphold our nation and uphold the promise of our democracy. 2 short years later, the Continental Congress adopted our Stars and Stripes as our flag, the symbol of that freedom, the symbol of our sovereignty and of our resilience. Building upon that great legacy over many, many years, just 6 months ago, we marked 75 years since the attack on Pearl Harbor that Senator Kissel mentioned, that galvanized the nation, that galvanized millions of Americans to come together, to don the uniform, to go off and preserve freedom, defend freedom against tyranny. We had over 4,000 Connecticut citizens make the ultimate sacrifice in World War II. We had millions more come home, here in Connecticut included, to go on and continue to serve in their communities all across the state, all across the nation. We're proud of the greatest generation. Are there any World War II veterans here today? Here we go. Let's hear it for our World War II veterans. I want to mark a couple of other anniversaries. One is this year marks the 100th anniversary of America's entrance into World War I. It also marks the 100th anniversary of our women service members being formally recognized to serve in the U.S. regular military at equal pay and equal rank. Do we have any women veterans here with us today? There we go. course, we mark the 67th anniversary, 67 years since the beginning of the Korean War, when again millions of Americans donned the uniform to fight communism, defend freedom. Any Korean War veterans here today? Thank you. Thanks all of you. There it is. All right. For the last 2 years, and we continue this year to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War, when again, Americans from all over the state of Connecticut, from all over the great nation, don the uniform to preserve freedom against communism. More than 600 of Connecticut's citizens made what President Abraham Lincoln called that last full measure of devotion. They gave their lives. Are there any Vietnam War veterans here today? 25 years ago last year marked America's leadership of a multinational effort to halt the ruthless dictator in Operation Desert Storm. Any Desert Storm veterans here with us today? And of course, last year marked 15 years since the horrific attacks on our own soil that ultimately led to Operation Enduring Freedom, and short time later, Operation Iraqi Freedom. To be sure, still fresh in our hearts, 15 years during which 65 of Connecticut's citizens made the ultimate sacrifice. Are there any post 9/11 veterans here today? We honor the veterans of all those wars and all conflicts. We honor veterans who served in wartime and peacetime today. We honor veterans who served home and abroad, active duty, Army Reserve, National Guard. It's all of you who have made the selfless service and sacrifice necessary to continue to uphold our nation, our democracy, the greatest nation on earth. I thank all of you for that great service. I want to also recognize our Gold Star families, the mothers, the fathers, the sisters, brothers, husbands, wives, partners, and children who lost loved ones in service to this nation. You all know all too well the price that you've paid for freedom's cause, and we honor your sacrifice today as well. And finally, as we go about our day and go about our businesses, and I look forward to greeting all of our veterans down below and honoring you with the Connecticut Wartime Service Medal. But we know in today's times, all too often, our lives are permeated by political debates and disagreements. But today is another occasion where we do well to remember that America has the longest enduring constitutional democracy in the history of the world. It's our men and women who serve in the fields and deserts, skies and seas all across the world that make it so. So you congratulate our veterans on your great service, on setting that example both in your military service and here when you come home in your communities. A great honor again for me to be here with you. Here in Connecticut, I got to tell you, over the last 2 years, there's something special. There's something special going on when it comes to our veterans, when it comes to that spirit, that passion, that compassion of our veteran supporters. I feel it in the American Legion posts, the VFW posts, the town halls, community centers, here in this auditorium this afternoon. So take that with you. I thank you very much for having me. It's not just Veterans Day, once a year here in the Connecticut, not once a week, not once a month, not once a year. As I say, it's veterans always. So say it with me. I say veterans, you say always. Veterans. Always. Veterans. Always. Veterans. Always. Thank you very much.
Just to let you know, as far as joining our organization, we'd love to have you, but Commissioner Connolly will be coming to one of our meetings in August. And even if you don't want to join, come talk to him, get some answers, hear some stories. It'll be a worthwhile meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. We're going to start working with the medals at this point, and we're going to go row by row. When your row is called up, bring the card with you with your name.
For Stephen Hopkins. Lori Millard. Kyle Korab. Francis Barron, Stanley Tokars.
Wow, thank you for staying. All right. I figured I'd be talking to an empty auditorium, but I am really pleased to see your faces. I'm Representative Scott Storms from Windsor Locks, and as we come to the close of this, what I think is a very awe-inspiring and moving afternoon, we wish to acknowledge and thank the many people who were instrumental in making today possible. We'd like to recognize our readers, as we may call them at this point. First Selectman Jim Hayden, Captain Justin Donnelly, and Lieutenant Colonel William Morito. And we thank them for being here today. We'd also like to say some special thanks to the municipal officials and their staff of the 3 participating towns, the staff of the offices of the Connecticut House and Senate Republicans. But there are 2 ladies out here. Where are they? Where's Erica and Ashley? I can't see you. Are they gone? There's Ashley over in the blue. Where's Erica? Up there. Those people have been working 6 months to do this project. They have done a great job. We'd also like to thank Resilient Grows Here organization for our refreshments today and the countless other volunteers who had a hand in making this concept, turning an idea into today's reality. As Representative Zawistowski mentioned earlier, the Connecticut Veterans Wartime Service Medal was established in 2005. It was a way to honor all Connecticut veterans who qualified with their service. And I'm truly humbled to be in the presence of today's honorees. I'm proud to join the many others who, in thanking you for your commitment and your service. Those who answer the call of military service do so prepared to make sacrifices far beyond what most citizens can imagine. Since the American Revolution, 8 generations of veterans have established an unbroken commitment to freedom. And today we've honored those here assembled who bravely served in time of war, and in doing so we honor all those who have served and those who are currently serving in our military in times of our greatest need. We hope that in some small measure we have not only recognized the contributions of our wartime veterans, but we've also shown our appreciation to their families and their friends for standing by our servicemen and women with unwavering support. We want to thank you for all you've done for our state and for our country to preserve our most precious freedoms. And with that, I'm pleased to say that our ceremony is coming to an end. Please feel free to have some refreshments, but again, most importantly, thank you for your service and congratulations on receiving this special recognition from the grateful people of the state of Connecticut. And thank you for staying.